Alright, here's another project we're starting on here. So this came in for bent handlebars because he fell down and got a custom bend to it right now. So since it's a brand new bike and he already screwed it up, we're gonna go ahead and probably strip down most of this and start over because it's a piece of crap how it's put together. So everything you kind of look at is looks nice, but it's not very functional. This here is going to probably fall off here at some point. I'm thinking about, what, 200 miles, Gino? The fender's only held on with one screw. That's loose. Right there.
Did Cycle Vision build it?
And then one screw over here. We're not supposed to make comments about who did work. So we only got one screw right here.
I'm sorry.
And one screw right here. So the whole fender just kind of pivots in the middle and it's already loose. So we got to fix that. We're going to wind up be putting two screws right here, so we have three all the way across, and I'm not sure what to do there. The seat is a kind of a flimsy piece of crap. And this bracket here will break in about 50 miles to 100 miles usually. And it bottoms out real quick here. And the springs are really soft. So we're going to wind up putting 3-inch short springs in here, a lot stiffer, and lower the seat down, remount it, and make it correct. The oil tank is a little bit close to the case right here. Somebody welded some brackets in here, down inside in there, and angle the tank so it sticks way too far forward and down. So we got to reposition this tank and move it up and get some more angle to it and get some clearances in here. The fender hits the battery box, which is all the new covers and stuff are over here for it. But you can't put them on because the fender's in the way, so we got to make that work. This is a nice acid battery. It's going to puke acid all over the bike, so the customer doesn't know it yet, but even we're not putting that back in. We're going to put a smaller battery in there that's sealed. I'm not going to tolerate acid all over a bike that we just put together. So after we reposition this oil tank here, we're going to have to keep it from sliding down the frame rail because it's using these two automotive exhaust clamps here to hold it on. So we're going to go ahead and put a bolt underneath here so it can only drop so far, it'll hit a bolt. So we'll do that also. What else is wrong with this bike? Foot pegs are too low, but we're not fixing that. The brake mechanism here is all junk. There's no stop for the brake, it just hits up here on the peg because Paco doesn't know how to make a frame correctly. This bracket is probably 1 inch too low, which makes everything work wrong. So to put these brackets in here, you have to go in here and cut the stop away that goes right here. Obviously there's a little lacking clearance to the chain right here. That might maybe eat the bracket away. So this all needs to go up about 1.5 inches up to get some clearance here. Then this will start going into here where it belongs. And we can go ahead and put the stop back on here so it'll only come back so far. They got the brake mechanism on here upside down because that's how they like doing it. Now that might accidentally be repositioned to be in the correct spot when we're done. If not, we're going to put a longer rod on it, which is right here. The other problem is the foot pegs are bent down real low. I don't know if you can see the angle, but they're bent down, which puts the pipe real low, which puts the bike real low to the ground here, so they'll dig in. So we're going to have to remake this bracket in here, bend this bracket up right here at the front. Yeah. Bend it at the base so the whole thing comes up. So this here goes back up to where it's supposed to be up here behind this, or at least right next to it. So when you get that up, the pipe will come up. We'll probably still dimple the pipe a little bit. So they didn't put the right spacers between the frame here, so if you look at the frame's actually pooched together, tight here in the middle. So it's wider here than down here. So we got to put the correct washers and stuff in here and bend the frame back out. Minor issues. The gas tank's actually right because it's a real tank, so it's still got good bolts. Got some stupid top bolts. Obviously this will come up higher when we get it bent around correctly. The chain guard was this little flimsy bracket won't live very long back here, but that's not the real issue. The real issue is that this bolt's not tight. there's actually a gap right in there because the bolt's not tight, because the chain guard probably don't fit in here very well. At least it doesn't hit, the chain doesn't hit at least.
What year motor?
So we have to reposition all of this and remake this part too. So while we're redoing all this stuff here, we'll be redoing all the stuff down here and making this work, and then we gotta go up front and redo up here. So yeah, we got almost nothing to do. Now I'm not sure what's going on with the front end yet, but right now we're gonna ignore that. We'll just make sure it's put together right. And then let's get the brakes done here. The next problem is your legs kind of get a little shocking experience here. So we're going to take this coil and flip it around to correct your action and put some wires in it, come from the back side up into here so you don't have all this hanging out there. So these, instead of being like this, they'll be like this on the bike. So I don't know why these people like having these stupid wires out in the wind like that, but they got all the correct parts here, they're just assembled wrong. So we'll fix that too. Then on the handlebars up there, we're going to have we got a new set over here. And after we order, we find out they're 1 1/4 inch for the fat bars. And these have internal wiring holes already built in here. So we're going to go ahead and put this cover here. We're going to put the stock cover on it, and with the switches up here. So we'll be able to have a high-low switch here, and we can work this horn. Now this horn maybe is not supposed to be vibrating against the frame like that, but might have to do something about that heavy-duty bracket. So we're going to use a stock wiring harness a little bit, put the new lever in it because he broke the lever when he fell down. These are those heavy-duty plug wires I made on one of my other videos. These are those 9.3 millimeter. So we're going to put these on the bike. You like the big fat ones. So not too much to do, just a minor little stuff. So bike looks really nice. It just needs a lot of work to make it right, make it rideable. So there we go. We'll be working on this here a little as we go.